Hello everyone. Today's topic is overview and phases of compiler. So we are aware that a compiler is nothing but which translates a high level language into low level language. So for that a compiler operates in phases. A phase is nothing but it is a logically interrelated operation that takes source program in one representation and produces output in another representation. It means the source program will be given in one language and the target program, that is output, will be produced in another language. And compilation process is partitioned into number of sub-processes called as phases. So those two major phases are, first one is the analysis phase and the second one is synthesis phase. When coming to analysis phase, it is called as machine independent and language dependent, whereas synthesis phase is called as machine dependent and language independent. Let's see what is this machine independent and language dependent. Now, analysis phase is concentrating on language. So we have two types of languages, that is high level language and assembly level language. Whereas synthesis phase is concentrating on machine level language. And so the meaning of machine independent here is it doesn't know which type of machine it is using. It means analysis phase, it depends, that means it concentrates on languages, that is high level language and low level language. It doesn't know which machine it is using. Whereas synthesis phase is machine dependent, which means it knows on which machine it is running, on which machine it is using, and it is language independent. It doesn't know whether it is using a high level language or low level language. Now let's see the structure of compiler. So the structure of compiler, we have a total of 6 phases. So first one is the lexical analyzer, syntax analyzer, semantic analyzer, intermediate code generator, code optimizer and code generator. So the input to our lexical analyzer is our source program and the output is our machine code, that is our target code or assembly level language. So all these 6 phases are being connected to symbol table manager as well as error handler. So let's see what all each and every phase does. So first one is our lexical analysis phase. So lexical analysis is nothing but it reads the stream of characters making up the source program and group the characters into a meaningful sequence called lexeme. So it is nothing but whatever the source program we are having, that source program, each and every character in that source program is being read by the lexical analyzer and that is being termed as a lexeme. And lexical analyzer represents these lexemes in the form of tokens. So first it reads each and every character in the source program. So here you can see the example. We have considered a statement like new value is equal to old value plus 12. So this is the statement I am considering. So first the lexical analyzer will read each and every character in this statement and then it converts it in the form of lexeme. And now it will check whether these lexemes are being matched with any of the pattern or not. Pattern is nothing but the meaning of the lexeme or the description of the lexeme. So in C language, we have keywords, identifiers, special symbols, operators. So these are only called as the patterns. So now first it will consider it as a lexeme, and then it will check now whether that lexeme is being matched with any of the pattern or not. So when it is matching with any of the pattern, then it will recognize that lexeme as a token. Okay, so now we have considered the example new value is equal to old value plus 12. So now in this we should tell what are the tokens. So now the tokens are new value is equal to old plus and 12. And also we have assigned, like in C language we have identifiers, keywords, I already told you. So now according to C language, what does this new value mean? So it is an identifier, and is equal to, it is an assignment operator, and old value, it is an identifier, plus it is an addition operator, and next 12 is a number. And so lexical analyzer will convert the statement into tokens. So here we have considered a statement, and now what the lexical analyzer did? The lexical analyzer has been converted it in the form of tokens. So these are all the tokens. And lexical analyzer truncates the white spaces and also removes the errors. So if any white spaces are there in your source program, so the lexical analyzer will remove those white spaces, and if any errors are there in the source program also, those also will be removed by using the lexical analyzer. So this is the first phase, lexical analyzer. So the second phase is syntax analysis. So syntax analysis is also called as parsing, whereas lexical analysis is also called as scanning or scanner. So lexical analysis is also called as scanning, and syntax analysis is also called as parsing. So what does the syntax analysis do, or syntax analyzer do? So the syntax analyzer takes the tokens produced by the lexical analyzer as input and generates a parse tree or syntax tree. So in the first phase lexical analyzer, we have divided the statement in the form of tokens. So those tokens will be taken as an input by your syntax analyzer, and with the help of tokens, it is going to generate a parse tree. So already we have taken the example, a statement in the lexical analyzer. The same statement we have taken here, that is new value is equal to old value plus 12. So based on this, we have constructed a parse tree. So that is nothing but, first we have considered the assignment operator. Here we have the assignment operator, and to this assignment operator, along with this we have identifier. New value is one identifier, and old value plus 12 is considered as one expression. So here we have taken the assignment operator, and we have considered identifier as well as expression. So now let's see what is the identifier. So identifier, here what we have, new value. So identifier we have written as new value. Now coming to the expression. So in expression here we have old value plus 12. So that means again we have here 3 tokens. So that is the reason we have considered this old value as one expression, and next plus is the addition operator, and next again we have considered 12 as one expression. Now expression, in expression what we have here, identifier. So expression we have written as identifier, and here in this expression what we have, a number. So we have written number. Now identifier, so in identifier what we have, old value, and in number what we have, 12. So this is how we construct a parse tree by using a given statement. So parse tree is being constructed in the syntax analysis phase by taking the input as a tokens which are generated from the lexical analyzer, and with the help of that lexical analyzer it is going to construct a parse tree. So parse tree is also called as a syntax. And the third one is semantic analysis. So generally semantics means meaning. So here also in compiler design, the semantic analyzer is going to check whether the parse tree constructed by the syntax analyzer is being constructed by following the rules of the language or not. So in the previous, like in the syntax analyzer, we have constructed a parse tree. So that parse tree, whether we have been constructing by using the rules in the language, like by following the rules in the language or not, is being checked by this semantic analyzer. So for example, here we have considered sum is equal to a plus b, and we have declared a as int and b as a double sum, b as a character, and the sum is a double. So now it is going to consider, so here the assignment, it will check whether the data types are being same or not, and it also checks the identifiers and their data types and whether this expression is being correct or not. So here you can see a is declared as a int, b is declared as a that is character, and the addition of that a and b is declared as a double value. So it may be syntactically correct, it is semantically correct, but whereas semantically it is not correct because we cannot perform addition between an integer and a character. So here the data types are being mismatched. A is considered as an integer, B is considered as a character. So we cannot perform the addition operation between an integer and a character. So syntactically it is correct, but semantically it is not correct. So that is being recognized by using the semantic analyzer. So here the data types are being mismatched. If we add int and a character, we won't get double. So the example taken is syntactically correct, but semantically it is incorrect. So this is about the semantic analyzer. And the next one is intermediate code generator. So intermediate code generator is nothing but it is the representation of final machine language code which is produced. So this phase will also act as a bridge between the analysis phase and the synthesis phase. So here if you see the example, you will be getting a clear idea. So the example, we have taken the previous example only, that is new value is equal to old value plus fact star 1. So this statement is being divided in the form of tokens, that is id1 is equal to id2 plus id3 star 1. So now intermediate code generator the operation begins. So here these values are being stored in temporary values. So in temporary 1, like in temporary 1 value, we are storing the value of 1. So we have written int real of 1. And now in temporary 2, we are doing the multiplication of temporary 1 with id3. So in temporary already the value of 1 is being stored. So that is being multiplied with id3 and that value is being stored in temporary 2. And next whatever the answer we get in temporary 2, that is being added with id 2 and that value is stored in temporary 3. So finally the temporary 3 like id 1 is nothing but the value what we get from temporary 3, that is id 2 plus temporary 2. So for all together this id 1 value will be stored in temporary 3. So this is our intermediate code generator. So intermediate code generator uses the temporary values and also it acts as a bridge between the analysis phase as well as the synthesis phase. So here these three comes under analysis phase: lexical analyzer, syntax analyzer and semantic analyzer. These three come under analysis phase, and intermediate code generator, code optimizer and code generator, these three come under synthesis phase. And the next one is code optimization. So this code optimization is an optional phase and this is used to improve the intermediate code. It is used to improve the performance of the intermediate code so that the output runs faster and takes less space. So how the output runs? So how the code optimizer improves the performance of the intermediate code? It removes the unnecessary code lines and arranges the sequence of statements in order to speed up the program without wasting the CPU resources. Clear now? So this code optimization is used to improve the intermediate code. So how it is improving the intermediate code? Like from our source program, it will remove the unnecessary code lines, and if any statements are not being arranged in a sequence, this code optimizer will arrange those statements in a sequence and then execute the program so that the program will be executed very fast without wasting the CPU resources. So here you can see the same example we have considered, that is a new value is equal to old value plus fact into 1. So here this in temporary 1 value we have stored the value of id 3 into 1. So the whole value we have considered as id 3. This old value plus fact we have considered as id 3 and then multiplied it with 1, and that answer we have been stored in temporary 1. And next in id 1 we have taken id 2 plus temporary 1. So already in temporary 1 we have the value of id 3 into 1. So that value is being added to id 2. So id 2, though that is being stored in id 1. So code optimizer, it is an optional phase, but it is used to improve your intermediate code. That is, the performance of the intermediate code generator is being improved by using the code optimizer. And the next one is code generator. So code generator translates the intermediate code into sequence of relocatable machine code. So how the example is here, it uses the mnemonics. So for example, we are considering same example, that is id 1 is equal to id 2 plus id 3 into 1. So first we are moving the id 3 value to the register R1. So here the id 3 value is being stored in R1. And next we are doing the multiplication in between R1 and the 1. So in R1 already the value of id 3 is stored. So that is the reason we are in R1 register the value of id 3 is stored. So that is the reason we are multiplying the 1 value with the value which is stored in the register R1. Now move this id 2 into the register R2. So id 2 value is being stored in the register R2. Now addition of this is being performed, that is addition of register R1 plus R2. Now move ID1 into register R1. So here in code generation we are using mnemonics. So mnemonics are being used in our assembly level language. So assembler we have seen during the in types of translators we have assembler. So there assembler is using the assembly level language, which means it is in the form of mnemonics. So assembler takes the input as your high level language and converts it into assembly level language, that is in the form of mnemonics. So we all know that compiler converts the high level language into low level language. So now in this code generation, a number of optimizations are made to reduce the length of a machine language program, and these are carried out during this code generation phase. So the output of code generator is the machine language program of the specified computer. So that is nothing but the output of the code generator is our low level language. So these are the 6 phases of our compiler. So all these 6 phases are being connected to the symbol table manager. So what is the role of this symbol table? So we can see here the symbol table manager. So symbol table manager is also called as table management or bookkeeping. So what this is the help of this symbol table manager and what it does? So in symbol table manager, all the data structures are maintained in this throughout all the phases of the compiler. So whatever the data structures which we are using in the compilation phases, we are having 6 phases. In all those 6 phases, whatever the data structures we are using, those are being maintained in this symbol table manager. And all the identifier names along with its types are stored here. It means all the data types, whatever the identifiers we are using, all the data types are being stored in the symbol table. It makes it easier for the compiler to quickly search the identifiers records and retrieve. So suddenly if we want the value of int or suddenly the value of a, so we cannot search the whole program. So by using the symbol table manager, we can search with that keyword or identifier name so that we can get the data from the symbol table. And the data structure used to keep the names used by the program and records essential information in the symbol table. So whatever the necessary data is there, that is being stored in the symbol table manager. And the next one is error handler. So error handler is nothing but if we have any errors during the 6 phases, those errors are being handled by this error handler. So error handler is nothing but it is invoked when an error in the source program is detected. So when an error is detected, then this error handler will handle those errors and show those errors or display those errors to the programmer. So this is nothing but the structure of compiler. Overview and the phases of compiler or the structure of compiler. So in structure of first, the compiler is divided into 2 major phases, analysis phase and synthesis phase. So these are being again subdivided into 6 phases. So in analysis phase, we have lexical analyzer, syntax analyzer and semantic analyzer. And in synthesis phase, we have intermediate code generated, core optimizer and code generator. So after that, we are going to get our low level language, that is our target code or assembly level language. So this is our structure of compiler or phases of compiler.